So, with that, it is my honor and privilege to introduce a friend and great champion and leader for Tim in the great state of Missouri, Owen Hassan. Many of you know Owen, and Owen is the Tim manager for the state of Missouri's DOT Safety and Emergency Management Division. He has served in multiple roles at MoDOT, as it's known, and has been with the agency for nearly 40 years. Little bit of time, just a little bit of time. And Owen is also MoDOT's technical representative for the Safety Service Patrol Pool Fund Study, and that I have the honor of being a part of as well. So, with that, welcome, Owen.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next slide, please. So I'm getting a bit of a feedback here. Are you hearing a feedback on this?
Yes, there is some feedback. Kevin, do we know if we can manage that?
Yeah, I think it's been taken care of.
Okay. So in Missouri, we are going to be, as usual, doing the Missouri Crash Responder Safety Week. We have 7 different regions within Missouri, and each one we attack it at a local level and at a statewide level as we look at pushing out our PSAs and our responder organizations and any trainings that go on through the region for stuff. So next slide, please. And this year is similar to the previous years. We're going to go for the governor's proclamation. If you saw earlier on Jim's slide, Missouri last year, we put in for it. We have to get in about 90 days in advance. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But last year we didn't have that in there, but the year before we did. So hopefully we'll get everything in a timely manner this year. We do our social media campaigns through Facebook, X, LinkedIn, website presence. I'll cover that in a minute. Some press releases, news organizations, the changeable message signs, and some other different manners of pushing out Crash Responder Safety Week, similar to what we've heard before. A lot of states do it, so a lot of redundancy throughout the nation, it looks like, which I think is good. When you're driving through, you're getting the same message consistently through various manners. Next slide, please. So one of the unique ones that we've started in the last few years is through the fueling station PSAs. If anyone's fueled up at the fueling stations, especially the larger ones, they usually have like a little TV mode there, and you'll see different advertisements or snippets from health to whatever might be on there. We push PSAs onto that, and Crash Responder Safety Week will be pushed out onto that also, specifically along our corridors, our interstate corridors. Here in Missouri, we have 3 major ones that roll through it: I-44, I-70, and I-55, all converging in the St. Louis region. So we do cover, get a lot of people at the fueling stations, especially huge on the trucking locations. Another one is the typical DMS messaging, as others do throughout there. We message different safety message, and during Crash Responder Safety Week and throughout the year, we put over make room for responders, move over, signs like that going through there. But we'll be advertising more for the or promoting, I should say, more for the Crash Responder Safety Week. Next slide, please. Social media example, we have in Missouri, we have our statewide TIM subcommittee group that consists of various partners. And there's the Highway Patrol, the DOT, the tow community, Missouri Tow Truck Association. We all meet together and discuss various things. And then we bring up the Crash Responder Safety Week. And then through each of their social media presses releases, they release different media things, trying to keep on track within each other and trying to mirror, in most cases, what we're focusing on nationally from the day-to-day pushes on there. There's just an example from the Highway Patrol from 2024. Next slide, please. And then local media news. There's a example there from. I won't be playing the video snippet from that one, but the local TV stations will pick up from the regional areas, put it on their local news. This is from the Cape Girardeau, kind of the southern. Think of the Boot Heel of Missouri area, if you're familiar with Missouri. That section where they push it out to their news area. Speaking of how Crash Responder Safety Week relates to them, reminding them everyone to slow down, move over during crashes, bringing up different incidents that may have happened, especially specific for that region or area that might have happened in their specific city. Hey, this happened at this time. They bring it up and they mention it. And this is an example from one of them from previous year. Next slide, please. And that's the website there, kind of just from the an example of the local media news from that Cape Girardeau area. Next slide, please. And then in Crash Responder Safety Week, we also push on our own internal for MoDOT, Missouri Department of Transportation. We have our own website, and we have Save Missouri Lives, Save Mo Lives website. And on that, we have different promotional PSAs and videos that we link to YouTube that we push out to the public through various different platforms. And I believe, next slide, please. And this is our site. This is from our on our Save Missouri Live site. We have another siloed page to that's just dedicated to Crash Responder Safety Week through the years. So as we scroll down through that site, you'll see we have different publications and postings from videos that we've put through the years. I think back to 2020 or before through the years on there. In 2019. I think 2019 might be the where we have some of the oldest archived in there. And then here's an example of one of the promotions, the 30-second snippet of what we run. I'm not getting any audio on this one. So during the audio on this, it's a 30-second video that plays, and it gives examples of moving over, and it has the different response agencies and disciplines involved in it. And that one had fire agencies, the Missouri Highway Patrol, the tow organizations, and the MoDOT DOT. Different responders speaking of it. Sorry, we just were having some technical issues on the audio on that, but no worries going forward on that. And the last aspect is the governor's proclamation. There's an example of the one from 2023, and that proclamation will be hopefully sent off again this year, or will be sent off this year. Again this year, hopefully on time where we can get it there and get the proclamation signed for 2025. And that's Missouri's presentation.
I see there is a question, I thought. Maybe not. Shally,
Yes,
do you have control of the
absolutely.
questions?
Yes, so Don Miller asks Owen to discuss how the fuel station public safety announcements are funded. So that's the first question out there, Owen. And Owen and Chris, if you could join us on video, that would be great as well. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we get our the funding goes through typically our highway safety and traffic division helps us out. So we have our communications division and they help coordinate that. So the funding itself will come out of the one particular bucket from our one division, highway safety and traffic. And then they contact our communications division, and through them they have various contracts. For that particular one, it goes through a media source out of Columbia, Missouri called Bucket Media, and they have a sub that they contact a contract with that pushes out, has contracts with the fuel station TV vendors who get who get our media publications through that. On how the exact particular sausage is made on that, I am not a subject matter expert. However, if somebody wants to follow up with me afterwards, I can direct them with inside our agency of who those subject matter experts are to walk them through the process. But if you have a communications team and manager with inside your agency, they probably have a very similar process in which they can get that accomplished.
So
You still
if
there,
you-
Vishali?
Yes, so if you have more detailed questions, feel free to reach out to Owen Hassan. We'll put his email in the chat. And then a question for Chris. The social media examples you've shared were pretty interesting and captivating. Can others use your work? Are there videos that can be repurposed? And what is the level of effort to put together some of those messages? You know, the 10-second clip doesn't seem like a high level of lift, but some of the other more really professional videos that you've done.
Yeah, definitely. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, feel free to use a similar format. Yeah, I can definitely, I think Elizabeth asked in the chat if I can share the link. So yeah, I can post that there. So yeah, feel free to steal it, to do something similar. You know, the lift isn't too bad. In terms of those the post that I showed of the video, we have a committee of about 5 or 6 people that we meet once a month about starting in May, actually, I think right around May or June. So we have a lot of, you know, time before November each year to kind of go through our plan for the week, and then we throughout the year really we collect all these different stories of you know, highway workers or first responders getting in roadside crashes. So whether that be reaching out to different agencies, sometimes we, you know, find the news articles about it, and then, you know, we reach out to the highway departments or the sheriff offices from there to ask their permissions to get the photo and video and, you know, stories from them. So that's kind of the process that we use. And in terms of the kind of the higher produced videos, we do have a videographer and a graphics team. We have, you know, 3 or 4 people that that are, you know, graphic designers and can work with. We have some video equipment, and we have editing programs and stuff to put those together. But the video I showed you, I worked with one of the designers to just kind of have a template and then put the video underneath, and then just kind of have the elements that we wanted. So hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, feel free to do something similar at your DOTs.
Thank you, Chris. And to both Owen and Chris, what would you say is the biggest challenge in getting these stakeholders engaged to plan the CRSW activities like the video that you just mentioned? And is there any way, you know, what has worked best for you in getting things done, overcoming some of the hesitancy or lack of interest, perhaps, sadly? So I don't know, Chris, if you want to answer first and then maybe
Sure.
Owen.
Yeah, kind of like I mentioned, you know, it is sometimes a struggle to find certain, you know, content or instances, stories that we can tell. You know, you think of the words Crash Responder Safety Week, and you think of, you know, first responder, you know, on the scene of a different crash, but we kind of broadened that scope. So I think that helped us a little bit. The move over law just says, any emergency responders. So that could be a first responder, that could just be a highway worker, like the one I showed of the highway worker. So I think that gave us more, content to work with. Unfortunately, these things do happen somewhat. It's a somewhat common thing when we have these crashes. So, like I said, we reach out to different departments, and if they're a little hesitant, one thing we like to do is show them of our previous work. So we'll show them last year's posts, and kind of like, hey, we're just here to share your story, spread the message of slowing over and moving down for you. We're just trying to help you and save lives, both motorists and workers. So I think that really motivates them to help us out, and kind of pushes them to give us their content. And from there, it's just email chains, and here, can you please send us the photos? Can you please send us the traffic cam footage, or whatever it may be, for us to put everything together. And then, of course, we before we run it, we obviously get their permission and have them look at it and vet it to make sure it all looks good to them. Just so it's a really collaborative way to do it. So.
And ours is similar. I think one thing that helps us out, well, one is starting it so early. I think when Jim fires this up so early, it gives all the states an opportunity to start their planning and process. Like I mentioned, we have a statewide TIM subcommittee that meets quarterly, and during these meetings, I bring it up. And with those, during those meetings, we have the different disciplines that are recognized throughout the state that have participants in there. So having our the Highway Patrol or Missouri Tow Association or Fire all involved with the planning of the discussions. It's usually myself that brings it up, and then is there anything pertinent that we want to, or your agency or discipline would like to push in addition to anything else? Brings it up, and then of course there's always if something has happened recently within memory, that's always a good thing to bring up too, especially with this if it's inside that particular region or statewide impact onto it. Just keeping everything, I guess the biggest challenge for making sure that we continue to keep everything fresh and relevant as we continue to move forward on this, because we're 10 years into it, and just making sure things are fresh and relevant.
Thank you, Owen. And with that, I don't think we have many other questions.
Okay.
So-
Okay. That's fine, Vishali. Those were good questions and answers. So to Owen's comment about Jim firing you up, let me just tell you about what hopefully it's going to happen at USDOT headquarters. You heard me mention earlier, during CRSW, we historically have had an event of some sort at DOT. There's a new administration, a new Secretary of Transportation, a new administrator. There's a lot of new faces in the highest levels of DOT, federal DOT. And so, being the 10-year anniversary, our team is working with our Public Affairs Office at Federal Highway, who in turn is working with the Secretary's Public Affairs Office. And I should say will be, because we're putting together a proposal. And this is the same kind of approach that you can take in your state jurisdiction or organization, to bring in for the in-person event at headquarters all the major associations, executive level leadership, as well as others, and have an event either on the 3rd Street Plaza, but we're shooting for what we did several years back in 2017, which is to do a major event in front of DOT headquarters on New Jersey Avenue. And I mean, it was a substantial lift. This is back when Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao was the secretary. And it was a hugely successful event. And I mean, we had everybody from not only Federal Highway, the Secretary of Federal Highway, but the other modes, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, and Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, administrator level, a deputy or administrator level, along with chiefs of police, colonels, state police colonels, superintendents, fire chiefs, tow and recovery executives, public works, EMS associations, and then just imagine a lot of other stakeholders, partners from Maryland and Virginia, and as well as other states like Pennsylvania, Delaware, West Virginia, any of the mid-Atlantic states. And so we're pulling out all the stops if given permission and the proposal is accepted. We are going for it. And I can't tell you how fired up I am. Vishali, who's on my contractor team, and others that aren't with us today, we're pulling out all the stops. And like I said, if our proposal is accepted, expect to see an incredible event with a lot of response vehicles from the other states and surrounding states, and testimonials. That's another one that our public affairs office feels strongly about, getting actual responders that have been struck and have lived and can tell their story. And you can visualize it, a ladder truck or two with an American flag draped behind the entire event, along with a lot of other, like I said, police and fire rescue towing vehicles as the backdrop. So stay tuned for more information on that, but I wanted you to know it is 4 o'clock. What do we have, Vishali? Half hour?
Yes, we have 30 minutes.
30 minutes. So our next